Alright, this is going to be a tutorial for House on the Borderland, how to set up and play. I don't know if I'm going to go through a whole game. I'm going to go through some of it just to kind of show the general flow. I'll use the rules and setup. This was done by Lurker magazine. It was very nice of them to do this. It's a solitaire game, only for one player, and yeah, there's some fun things going on with this. You'll want to cut out all the counters and fold them into little standees. You'll also cut out the cards, little markers, and your events. You'll lay out the map directly in front of you. The map has the house, the general yard area, trees. You can walk into the basement through this thing into this cellar area and walk through the cellar. Or you can go over to this pit over here and walk into this cavernous area if you want to. The one unfortunate aspect is the life sheet is printed on the back of the rules. It would probably be somewhat impossible to play this game while using the life sheet, but then also trying to refer to rules. I can't figure out how to do it. So I put up a file. You can print out this here. I just simply copied and printed out. I have a copier, but I have the rules on a file for this file online if you want to print it out. Worst case scenario, if you can't even print it out, you could just create the recluse, the dog, and the sister, and just create their life, the amount of life that they have, and just refer to these particular people, these creatures and their hit stats and so on and so forth. There's also a lantern, and also a track for the writing of the diary. So if you had to just write down or just mark this somehow, you could create this without having a copier, but you do really need to have this separated from the rules to play this game. You'll want to place the diary counter at the one track of the one space of the diary track. It will go around. One whole rotation is 25, I believe 25. Then you're going to want a life counter on each character. The recluse begins, they each begin on the darkened square, so the dog will begin here and the sister will begin here. And then you'll want to shuffle this deck and kind of put it near the map. Then you'll want to separate the event tiles into two groups: the ones with the text on it, the white text, and the numbers, and then all the red text-oriented ones. These are the ones that you'll always be using, and you're going to separate those into two. And then we'll shuffle just the red ones up. So I have the red always use noise tiles shuffled up, but then we have down here all of the numbered event tiles. So for a game, I use 1 and 2, but if I want to play a fast game, which will take about an hour to play, I use all 3. With 2, the game probably will take around 2 hours to play, maybe an hour and a half. And then we're going to put these in with the always use noise, and then we're going to shuffle it again. The deck is shuffled with the 2 events in them, and now we're going to place the character tiles, the character stands, on their space. So the recluse will go onto the R space, the dog resting next to him, Pepper is the dog's name, and his sister Mary in the other room. And from here, we just leave the rest of the stands up here. They may come into the game. And then we're going to do a noise roll. So a noise roll is something you're going to have to do commonly. And what we're going to do is take 2 dice. You're going to have to supply your own dice. You roll the dice. And we have here a 10. So a noise will be placed on the 10 hex. We just place that noise on this hex here. So some sort of noise has occurred right there. And the last thing is we just choose the difficulty that we want to do with these swine creatures. To make it a more difficult game, you allow them to hit 4 or higher will cause a hit. I'm just going to do a normal, just 5 or higher will cause a hit, and that will make them a slightly easier difficulty. So the game is ready to play from here. game is set up, and this game is the player will keep playing until he receives the luminous spec event, which will kill him no matter what. But the turn sequence is a sort of a sequence of play that continues over and over again, and the phase of play is a noise draw. We're going to draw from this deck to see if there's any noise, and then from there, if there's any swine creatures in play, then we draw from this deck again and look on the swine action side of the card to see what the swine creatures do. And then from there, each character gets one action in which they can move and conduct one action. And if the shuffle card was drawn during the turn, the fourth phase is that we simply reshuffle this deck. And this continues onward until the luminous spec occurs, the event occurs. So I'll just jump right in. I guess how I'll teach this is I'll just play and maybe go for a couple events, and then that should give you kind of an idea how to play this game. One thing I should mention is the final goals of the game. So the goals of the game are you're trying to get the most amount of points, and the most amount of points you can get is 7. So if you have all 3 of your characters alive, that's 3 points. If you collect all 3 mysteries, that's another 3 points. And if you complete a diary circle of 25 diary spaces, you can continue onward. That also will give you a point. So the 7 points is the highest points you can get. Anything less than that, you just didn't achieve each victory point. But anyhow, we'll start inward. I'm just going to settle in here, and the very first thing will be a noise draw. So I'm drawing this card. This symbol means reveal. I must reveal any noise on the map. There is only one noise to reveal. I flip this over, and 4 swine people just appear right there. Each hex can stack 2 characters, so 2 will go on the hex that is revealed, and then 2 adjacent to any hex adjacent, we'll say here. So that noise draw brought 2 swine creatures in, so we do go into the second phase of the swine creatures advance, and so we draw the next card to see what the swine creatures do. They are stopped. They are just going to stay there at the window. I should mention this house. So there's walls, the entrance to the cellar. There's little staircases to go up into different areas, and there are doors. The yellow are doors. The blue are windows. We cannot walk through the windows, but we can walk through the doors. And that's pretty much everything here. From this tower, we can look and spy the noise that is on the. If there's a noise on the pit, we can reveal the noise. Now these noises, if they see them with line of sight, they will reveal them. So there can be an advantageous thing to look at these noise draws. So they stay there. That's their phase. The next phase is the character actions. So each of these characters get one action. This guy moved out of the way. I didn't mention the character actions. They can only do 2 actions. They can either write, which only the recluse can do, or fight. So they can move around and conduct their one action, but they can only fight, really, and the recluse can write. Now, we know there's swine out there, but the sister is probably going to just move into a safer spot. So she's going to move out of this door, maybe over here to this hex. So she's going to be in a little safer spot. The dog, Pepper, and the recluse is actually going to write some of it into the diary. So maybe he's writing that there's something outside the window. And they can also move after their action. Well, he has to be able to write, you have to just be there the entire turn, but the dog can move somewhat. So we'll do this. That may or not. Jeez. I'm going to keep it there. This may be stupid. Alright, so they're just going to be there. So then phase 4 is if we drew the shuffle card, we would redraw the shuffle deck, but we didn't. So being a solo game, it just goes straight into the next turn. We draw the C, this side of the card, the noise side. It's a reveal, and if there's nothing to reveal, which there is not anything to reveal, we just do a noise roll. The noise roll is 12. So something appears on the 12. So something actually appears inside the house, or it actually makes a noise. There may not be anything. So a noise happens upstairs. The next thing we do is then see, what do these guys do? And this means that they do advance. So they can go 5 spaces, and they go 5 spaces to the nearest character to attack them. So it comes through the house. 1, 5. So they come in. And then it's the character action. So the dog and the recluse will attack those guys. So everybody rolls, both the swine and the characters. So we're going to roll for the characters first. So it's 1 die, and so we'll roll for the recluse. He hits on a 4 or higher. He does hit 1, and then Pepper hits on a 5 or higher. Pepper does not hit. This is a 1. And then we have the 2 swine creatures. They both hit on 5 or higher. So they did hit 1. So the swine, when they hit, they just vanish. They maybe skittle off, or they actually just turn to nothing. I don't know. Something happens. They just vanish. So 1 is hit, and then one did strike the characters. So we have to decide who gets struck. We'll say the recluse goes down 1, and then that leaves that. And so that's that. We could still move. So the sister is actually still going to move. She's going to go 1, 2, 3. Ooh, geez, 4. So she's going to run over there, and they could still move. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just go here. Phase 4, we don't have to shuffle, so we go straight back to phase 1, which is going to be the noise. We'll look at the noise, and we have a noise up here, so we do make a roll. The roll is 8. So a noise does appear in the cellar here, and we put it on this number 8. And then we see what the swine creatures do. We do another draw. And here, it's interesting. So here, they just vanish. They simply just disappear. So this guy means they just disappear. So this leaves everybody there. Their character actions is they will go back. And he'll get back to his study. The sister could go look at this noise. But in looking at noise, there could be danger. And she only strikes at a 6. So I could have had them move, but I want him to continue to write. 1, 2. So she's going to move to there for now. That's their actions. No, we don't have to shuffle, so we go straight into the next turn. This means we're going to roll the dice to see. So on a 1, nothing happens. On a 2 or 3, we reveal something. On a 4 or higher, we're going to do it. We roll a 2, so we do a reveal. So I can reveal either the one in the house or one in the basement. I'll do the one in the basement. The thing from the pit. So an event has occurred. This will change things somewhat, and we'll get into that. So we take this event and we look up the event in the event tiles. And we just read through the event and conduct the event as it says. Now this is the reason why the life sheet on the back is going to be hard. You're gonna want to make some sort of print, but we're just going to look at the event here. So this is event number 2, the thing in the pit, and we just do exactly what it says. It says put the thing on the pit, and the thing moves at 6 speed. It immediately makes 1 full movement towards the recluse. So the recluse being here. So in movement here in the trees, it's going to be 2. So it's coming from the pit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is coming towards the recluse. Now every turn in phase 2, when we would regularly move the swine, we're going to move the thing no matter what. There's no stopping or disappearing. It's going to move. And the thing must move towards the recluse's hex. Obviously, if the recluse is dead, you could move it towards somebody else. But at this early point in the game, the recluse is going to be very much alive. So if reaching the recluse, you must attack. And the thing will strike at a 3 or higher on a d6. And a 5 delivering 2 hits, and a 6 will be 3 hits. If household characters hit thing once, it disappears. So if the second this gets hit, it just vanishes. But after the event has been played, which is right now, we are going to seed the deck. We're going to do something here. So after we remove all noise tiles from the map, so we're going to remove this, and we're going to add number 3, the next one in order, and then we're going to just shuffle all these up. The deck has been shuffled. We do an immediate noise roll. We have a 7, so we take the top noise and we're going to place it on the number 7 in the cellars. And then this was, we revealed this tile in phase 1 when we rolled the dice to reveal. So now we go on to phase 2, and because this was revealed in phase 1, it's going to actually move again. So because now it's the swine in phase 2, the swine would move, so also this would move. So 1, 2, 3, and it's going to attack the dog. That's the first hex. If you look where the recluse is sitting, there's a wall, so it had to hit the dog before the recluse. And now the dog and the thing fight. So we'll roll for the thing. It missed, and then we'll roll for the dog. It missed. So then we go into the third phase, which is the characters phases. So I'm gonna move the dog out. The dog can move from the thing hex, and the recluse has a shotgun, and he can shoot the shotgun from, I thought it was like 3 spaces. I may be wrong. It's a range of 3, yes. And it's going to shoot at the thing. He does roll a 5. He can hit on a 4, 5, or 6. He hits the thing just vanishes and goes away. So that's the entirety of that event. The event is now done. And so then we go there to other movements. They have not moved. He did conduct an action, but he can move now, and he's going to move them back to here, and they're not going to move further. He cannot also write in his diary. He had, that was his action, the shotgun. The sister is going to move back to her room, kind of go back to her beginning space, and that's the end of that turn. We did not draw the shuffle card, so we go into the next turn. The next turn, we see the noise. Nothing happens. So nothing happens this turn. There's phase 2. There are no swine to deal with. So we go directly to phase 3. Their actions. Now we do have a noise. We can go search in the basement, in the cellars. But I'm going to actually do another writing of the diary, and then we are at the end, and there is no shuffling, so we go into the next phase. So as you can see, this just continues to go until we get to the luminous speck. So I'm going to actually just sort of be quiet, and maybe I'll just kind of comment here and there. Sweet. Draw. Again, nothing. So, as an action, he's going to write in the diary. That's the end of the phase. Into the next phase. Noise, and then we have a shuffle. we will do the entire turn before the shuffle. So we do the noise. The noise is going to be 6. We place the noise on the number 6. Oops. And then they do the character actions, and I'm just going to, again, write in the diary. And then we reach the end, so I'm going to shuffle this deck, since this deck did reach the shuffle card. I'm going to shuffle to create a new deck. The new deck is shuffled. Draw for the noise, nothing. Go, and we just go straight over to the actions. Into the next turn. A noise. You roll a 3. Place the noise on the pit. That's number 3. Now the pit, I could look from this tower and see what's on this pit. So maybe I'll start bringing the sister around. 1, 4. He's going to write in the diary. The diary increases. We go into the next turn. Now we're gonna roll. If it's a 1, it's nothing. A 2 and a 3 is reveal, and a 4 or higher is a noise. It's a 1, it's nothing. The sister's going to continue to look. 3, 4. He's going to continue writing in his diary. We go into the next turn. Another die roll. And we roll a 1 again, so nothing again. The sister goes up the steps. So from here, she can actually see this noise here. So we turn this over, and it is a single swine creature at the pit. All right. So we go. He is going to write in his diary again. Turn. Nothing happens. But since we do have a swine, we do draw for the swine creature, and it does advance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sister's kind of in a good spot there, so I'm going to keep her there. But he's going to just write in his diary again. Next turn, we must reveal. We drew a reveal. I'm going to reveal the number 6 to see what this is. And it is sleep. Everything vanishes. Sleep is a one-time action. It's taken out of the game when it happens, so we put it over here with the other ones taken. Everyone falls asleep and they just wake up. Now, if they have been injured, which an all noise is taken off, and they wake up to a new day, the swine is also gone, and I'll shuffle up the noise deck. We take the top card off. This is also the part of the sleep action. We look at this. Everybody gains this much health back. Now, everybody's health is up to their top health except for the recluse, but we move his health back up to his starting space. He can go upward if he sees his love, but he just goes to his normal starting place. So he's gained back that health. And then we also roll a dice roll for noise. A new noise is placed. It's going to be placed on 11. And then we go into another turn. We reveal. So this is the only one available. This is the only one we're going to reveal. 7 swine appear. So again, I'm going to put 2 per hex because you can stack 2 a hex, and then each adjacent to that. So we've placed 7 there. So that was the reveal. That was in phase 1. So we then see what happens. They just stay there. That's the stop. So they just are standing there. These guys are just, he's still going to write in his diary. And then we go into the next turn. We roll to see. 1 is nothing, 2 and 3 is reveal, 4 is, so a 3 is reveal, but there are actually nothing to reveal, so we're going to roll to create a noise and place a noise. We place it at number 8. And then we see what happens to the swine people. And they just vanish. And then we're going to then just write in the diary. Just writing away. The next turn, it's going to be shuffling at the end, so we do another noise. 9. So these ones are out in the yard. So the people can look through these windows to get an eye to kind of get the line of sight to see these. So the sister's going to go over here. So she's looking, gazing at this noise over here. Nothing. He's going to continue writing in his diary. And then we are going to shuffle the deck. A new turn. Reveal. There is a noise to reveal down here. Nothing. Actions. She's going to move back. And he's going to write in his diary. New turn. Reveal. There is nothing to reveal, so we do a noise. 11. Actions. He's going to write in his diary. Next turn. Noise. 7. We place it on 7 in the cellars. She's going to go look and gaze at this noise around here. She's looking through this window at this noise. A single guy. And then his action, he's going to write in the diary. And into the next action. Nothing happens. And now that there's a swine, we get to do a swine draw. And it is advance. So it goes 5 spaces. And I'm going to send the dog after this. So the dog and the swine fight. The dog hits on a 5 or 6, misses. This is a 1. He is going. The swine then hits. The swine also hits on a 5 or 6. Miss. All right. He's going to write in his diary. Go to the next turn. So we roll. 4 is a noise. So a 3 is rolled. Place the noise on the pit. And then we go into the swine action. So the swine advances, but he's already on the dog, so that's the nearest character, so he's going to attack. The swine does hit on a 5. The dog is going to attack, and the dog does not hit. He has to get a 5 or a 6. So the dog does lose 1. The swine still is happening. So he's going to actually come out now. The dog's going to come over to him. The characters can move out of hexes. They don't have to fight if they're in the hex. They can move out from them. So he's going to shoot with his shotgun. He does 2 damage, but it only takes 1 damage to make it disappear. So now when I say disappear, they might actually disappear. They might skittle off. There's a lot of different things they can do. So use your imagination. Anyhow, they look okay for the rest of it. So the sister is going to take a peek at this one up at the pit. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, back up to the tower, and she's going to kind of move back to here. They can go that far. Can't get back. Okay, and then into the next turn. Noise with the shuffle. Another 3. So we place the noise directly on the 3. They go back to their spaces. Now he cannot write. He has to begin his turn on the actual space to be able to write. She's going to move to there. And this was a shuffle, so I'll shuffle the deck. Go to the next turn. Noise again. 11. She's going to go up and look at this. She eyes this. Both of them are drawn. The attack and add 3 noise. So let's do the add 3 noise first. Nine. And 6. And that brings me out of noise cards. And so it says add 3 noise. And whenever you can't add another noise, I don't know if the rules are incredibly clear about this, but you're supposed to reveal if you cannot add a noise. So I'm going to reveal perhaps this noise. Had 2 more noise. So there's not even 2 more. There's no more to add, so I'm just going to start flipping. So this guy, love. His love, sort of ghostly spirit of his love appears in the cellar, and he's hearing her call out to him. Now, if the recluse can meet her in the cellar, he can raise 1 life, even past his normal, regular life, up to 7. So she's just calling out to him in the cellar. I believe, and I've got to reveal 1 more noise. 4 more, guys. So, but I have actually drawn this attack. So all these, the attack is you place every swine creature not in play on the hex that was revealed, and they are coming to attack them. So we're going to reference the event deck, and so placing these again, you place on the hex and then outward from there, because you can only stack 2. And in this event, the hex, the attack, the attacking swine make an immediate move towards them. So all swine even these guys that are added are in on this attack. Like the attack as an event is just all swine, no matter what, are going to move and try to attack until they are all gone or some sort of event occurs that takes everything off. So they get one movement to begin with. One, two, three, four, five. Now, you're supposed to go towards the nearest guy, but what I get a little creative with it, and I just sort of, you could probably go, okay, well, there's like 7 hexes here, there's 5 hexes to this guy, whatever it is, and you go all towards that. But I'm a little bit more loose, and they're obviously coming after these people, so it doesn't, the way they come at them, it doesn't, it can matter if you wanted to, but I'm kind of loose on it. So they're coming in. The attack has begun. So then, now that the attack has happened, all noise is taken off, and we add the next number. Oh man, I made a mess here. So the next number is number 4. This is added to the noise deck, and then we're going to shuffle this and draw a noise from there. Okay, it's been shuffled. We roll for placing a new noise, and we're going to place the noise in the back of these caverns, the subterranean area here. So now we are in a new turn. We do the actual normal thing. There's no noise or anything. And I do not even draw, during this attack, I don't even draw to see if these guys are moving or disappearing or stopping there, no matter what, moving until all of them are gone, either by being killed or another event makes them vanish. So they have to enter through this door. I was going accidentally through the brick wall. So they are attacking, 2 are attacking the dog. So 2 dice for the swine. Neither of them hit. The dog hits on a 5 or 6. It's a miss. The dog is going to move out of this hex. Now it's the character's turn, but the dog moves out of the hex with him, goes with him, and he shoots a shotgun at this, let's say this hex. He misses. Over here, the sister is in this area. Now this is sort of kind of a hidden thing. We didn't mention it, I don't think, in the rules, but there is a little secret passage that kind of crosses through here. So you can play it either that you can't move any further than this tower, or play that the secret passage is open. This is like a hidden sort of thing. It's not mentioned in the rules, but 1, 2, 3, 4. She is going to sneak through there. Of course I'm going to use it, because you can just do that. Anyhow, that is their turn. The dog could have made an attack, but the reason I didn't make the dog attack is because when he attacks, he would have had to have been attacked too, and I thought it was a little too dangerous. So I wanted the dog to get away. So these guys, but let's see, they can't really move out of here. This is, they're kind of stuck in this room. So they're gonna have to fight their way out. So this could be pretty bad. The love is still calling his name out in the cellar, and Mary's crossing over the hidden passage, and then we go into the next turn. We roll to see. A 6 is place noise. 8. So there's some sort of noise coming from the cellar. Then we automatically move these people. So these two swine are going to cover them, and they're going to keep pouring in. Oh boy, this might be a short game. But there you go. And then these guys move up here. Found the secret passage too. Alright. And then it's these guys do make an attack, so it's 2 swine. Ooh, that's 2 hits. And then the dog and the recluse. No, for the dog, the recluse did hit 2 people. So they both vaporize, and but these guys did get 2 hits. Now I can divide these strikes anywhere. The dog's already losing out, so I'm actually going to put them both on the recluse. And Mary's trying to get away here. Now these guys are stuck in this room. They cannot really move out, so you know what I'm going to do though? I'm going to just fight my way out of here. So these guys are going to come over here on this turn, and they're going to fight both these guys. So we'll do the swine people first. 1, they did not get a hit because we're doing 5 or 6 on the swine, and then the dog on a 5 or 6, nothing, and the recluse on a 4, 5 or 6, nothing. So they're stuck fighting. Mary's gonna try to get through. 1, 2, 4. She kind of coming out. Then we go into the next turn. A reveal. Interesting. So I'm going to reveal this one. Nothing. And then we go into they have to attack. They're coming in. Alright, they cannot move any more on here because they're already fighting, so they're going to just fight the swine. So the swine got a double hit too, so got 3 hits, and now the dog on a 5 or 6, nothing. The recluse did get 1, so 1 does get struck, but these guys take 3 hits. The dog's going to take 1, he's going to take 2. Alright, and then we take away 1 of the swine. Alright, now the character's turn. She's going to 2, 3, 4. The recluse and the dog are going to leave that one there and jump on these 2. They're going to try to fight their way out of here. So the 2 swine. 1 did strike. Oh, no, that's on a 5 or 6. So then the dog on a 5 or 6. Nope. And then the recluse. No. But they can still move. So that's 1, 2, 4. They're going to kind of come and help Mary here. So they're kind of coming this way. And that leaves them there. And we'll see what happens. Into the next turn. Alright, we're going to have to roll. 4 is a noise. 5. And then they keep coming. Alright, these guys are going to fight. We'll do the swine first. Ooh, 3 hits. Yikes. This might be a short game. And then the... the 2 on the sister. Or no, actually they fight back. So it's going to be the recluse 4 or higher. Misses. The dog 5 or higher. The dog gets 2 hits. So the dog does get both of these guys. So that's good. But they take 3 hits. Yikes. 1, 2, 3. Oh boy. And the sister is getting attacked twice. 2 hits on the sister. And the sister can only hit, I believe, on a 6. So, and it's only a normal hit. It's not even a double. So she does not get it. And this is interesting. So what I could do here is they have the ability to use a lamp once in the game. And they can throw the lamp on a hex, and it's a range 3, and it will hit a 2 power for every hex and every hex adjacent to it. So it'd be able to kill, if he can throw it in the right way, he could kill a few people here. So like he could throw it. He's in a tough spot because if he moves here, he won't have a line of sight to throw it here. But if he was able to throw it here, he'd be able to kill everyone here. But like I said, he has that wall problem there. So what he might do is he's going to come help his sister. He's going to come 2. Actually, he's going to stay here, and the sister's going to move out of the way. So these hexes are kind of funny. They're supposed to be kind of twisted and weird and strange, but she can stand there. He's going to throw the lantern here. It gives a 2 hit per hex, so it's going to hit these 2 guys and get them in every adjacent hex, so everyone around. And so these guys too would get hit because they are adjacent. So that was able to do some work there. But that's a once a game ability, so he cannot use the lantern again during the game. And that was their action. They could still maybe move a little bit more, but 3, 4, 5. He's gonna move there. She was here. 1, 2, 3. Ah, boy. The sister's in a troubled spot here. She's kind of in the corner. So I'm just gonna leave that there because that might split them up a little bit. Oh, I forgot to move these guys during the. Or did I kill these guys? I have no idea. No, they came. They're going to come in. All right. So that ends this turn. Into the next turn. Another roll. This is a reveal. I am going to reveal this one. Ooh, I should go. Okay. All right, I'm going to reveal this one. Ah, this actually saves my ass. Okay, so the Plane of Silence. This will be the last event that I'm going to kind of show, and then I'll leave the game to you guys. But, so the event, the Plane of Silence, has come up. So we're going to take everything off. All the noise is going to come off, kind of throw it off to the side. These ones do not come back in the game. So the Plane of Silence happens. Everything vanishes. So even though the attack doesn't, even though the attack continues to go, there are events that can make it stop, and this is one of the events that can make it stop. So what happens? Everybody goes off except the recluse, and this will kind of describe the rest of the game. So the recluse is in this sort of area here. We're gonna place the Plane of Silence card in this area. Okay, so the Plane of Silence card is placed directly on the spot where the Recluse is. Now, we place the Recluse to the nearest circle, and it looks like this guy's going to be the nearest, and he will have to confront this, so there's going to be automatically a swine creature on that spot. That's what this means here. Now, this is a 3-card event, the Plane of Silence. So we're going to have to draw, after 3 cards, the event is over. So what happens here is this is how you move in the Borderland. What's going on is he's gone to kind of like a dream world or some possible other dimension, and the other dimension just sort of carries him through it. There's not much he can do. He can do a little bit, but for the most part, the cards will carry him through. So he's going to draw a card. So we're going to draw this card here. This card has a 3 on it, which means he is going to have to move 3 spaces in the Borderland. I should explain here. So what is going on here is this is considered Borderland turns. So the whole game kind of turns into a slightly different game in which there's 3 turns. And the first phase is the drawing of the Borderland card. And this is going to have 3 on it, which means he is going to have to move 3 spaces. We turn this over, and now this card can go on any adjacent area on the map adjacent to the card already there. So what we have here is I can kind of look at this card, and I see these give me points. So if I can get him here, I can gain a point, and there's only 7 points in the game, so that's pretty good. And with the way that this is going to work, it's going to work out okay. So I'm going to put this adjacent to him. I know he has to move 3 spaces. So that is how that goes. And now we go into the second phase. The second phase is we move any swine creatures 1 towards him. And there is already 1 on him. And so he's got to fight this guy. And it's a normal fight. So the swine is rolling. Whoops. The swine misses. Now, if it did hit, he would have been hit to death. But you can never die in this weird dreamland. In the book, turns into total dust, and his dog is dead, and when he comes out of the dreamland, they're all alive again. So in this dreamland, he does not die, even though he may go to 0. But nonetheless, it did not hit him. But he also rolls, and he does not hit the swine creature either. Now we drew the 3, and he has to move towards the card that was placed, and he must move 3 spaces. So there are these ways he can go there. These are 2 adjacent spaces he could go there. So he could go 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3. There's 2 routes. Both of these, he must move to the nearest space or an adjacent space going in the direction that he's going in. Both of these are in the direction that he is going. So he can move there for 1, 2, and then these are 2, and I can continue going in that direction. 3, so he does gain a point, which is slightly hard to do. So he does get that. So that's 1 card of the Plane of Silence event. So we only draw 1 more card, and that's 3 cards. And so we have 2. I look at the card. He's going to have to go in the direction of this card. So this would be good. It would give him, if I can somehow get this to work, I can turn this upside down. That's perfectly fine. He's like that. And he must go 2 spaces. So he goes to the nearest space, and then the second space in this gains him a diary passage. So he's done all 3. The event is over. We take off all the cards. I did shuffle the deck before the event began. It does ask you to do that. So I was working with a shuffled deck there. And then he goes back to his space. This goes away. I forgot to move the swine in that, but it would never have reached him. The sister goes here, and the dog goes here. And this would have been taken off too during that turn, so that would have been gone. So they all wake up there. I'm going to seed the noise deck with the new noise. This Plane of Silence goes off. It's out of the game. We go to the next one. We put the next one in. It's going to be the Subterranean Pit. We're going to go put that in, and then we're going to shuffle this. We shuffle that. We've shuffled that new one in, and we roll for a noise. And we have an 8, so we have a noise that happens right there on 8. And then these guys wake up out of a slumber, out of a sleep. And they've been sleeping. We draw the card off the top to see how long they've been sleeping. They've been sleeping 1 day. They each get 1 health back. I was hoping that'd be a little bit better. But it is not. That's not going to be what it is. And then they go back into the game, and they continue this game until the luminous speck is drawn, and that ends the game. So the game continues forward, and that's really the different phases you'll see are that Dreamlands phase of the Borderland, and just regular gameplay in the house, and the exploration of things. And there's kind of goals that can kind of come up here and there. But that's gives you a pretty good run through of how the game works. So a couple other things to mention. I've probably mentioned it, but I'll just kind of reiterate it. But when you enter into the cavern, you must pass through the pit hex. So to come back into these cavern caves here, you must enter in this zone, and vice versa. If you come to this space, you can enter into the cellar, and you can walk into the cellar and explore. And again, if you have a line of sight, you can see these noises and so on and so forth. I had meant to prefer it to mean when you are on this hex, you're actually on this hex. And that's just, so if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how I do it. You can do it. You can house rule it how you like. I think this covers all bases. If you have any questions, just ask in the comment section. Yeah, have fun with it. If you have any questions, let me know, and enjoy House on the Borderland.